Grandpa.
How was your journey?
Fine.
No problem with the Daymar Bridge?
Grandpa?
It's this bloody ceiling. If I let go, it's going to come down. I was just trying to fix that old chandelier.
Let's try this. There you go. How's that?
Ah. Is that your car out there? You must look like something out of a tampon ad.
It's Ollie's.
The tabloid hack. What happened to that nice boy of yours with the asthma and meet his murder tattoo?
You called him Elephant Man all weekend and hung sides of bacon in his bedroom.
Charming fellow.
Oh, stop it, Grandpa. And why the summons?
It's not a crime to want to see one's granddaughter, is it? I rather think I had a nicer frock, don't you?
One more year as Lord Chancellor and he'd have got to keep the wig.
So what do you think of this house?
I think a strong westerly and it'll blow down. You know, I love the place.
So you really like it a considerable amount?
Probably as much as you do. Grandpa, what's going on? And who was that I passed driving away from the house?
Aren't you the curious one? I suppose I have to get used to that now you're about to become a journalist.
I started last week.
So now you've got the job. Do you still have to sleep with Ollie?
Come on, Grandpa, what is it?
Damn it. Bloody fox. Damn bastard. Damn.
Grandpa, tell me.
They say I ought to have Mella put down. Some new young prick of a vet. Do you know he wears sunglasses?
Well, he is in a lot of pain when he walks. He is very old.
So am I.
Well, perhaps we'll get a discount if you're both put down together.
We got something all snarled up in the nets.
If it be another drowned tourist, we're throwing the bugger back. Too much bloody paperwork.
No, it's a bale or something. Attached to a buoy, it were.
All right.
Why you reckon, Da?
Nice bit of cannabis. Moroccan black.
Aye. Best tell the customs boys now. So, what you reckon it's worth?
$500,000.
$500,000. Best tell the customs boys then.
Lights out.
They're out. She'll never admit it, but she's cooked a special pudding for you.
Lights out.
They're out! Daft old bat. Do you know we're entirely off the grid now? The windmill and the solar panels give us all our electricity.
Lights out.
They're out!
Crêpe Suzette flambe.
Oh. Oh, my God. Here, take this.
Call myself a maid.
There goes your ceiling.
I have some business to attend to.
So, are we gonna keep this dope then?
Shut up.
Arthur.
Derek.
Bad news about the boat, I'm afraid.
I know. It don't catch no bloody fish.
Head office are having a bit of a blitz on everyone. If you don't come up with what you owe by Monday, they're talking repossession.
I wouldn't worry, Derek. I think we might be coming into a little cash.
All right. Oh, and, Mum says, can you pick up a tin of evaporated milk on your way home?
You see, I'm in a bit of a spot financially. I understand. But I was wondering whether, bearing in mind I helped you out that time, whether you could... Yes, I see. Yes. Bye. Always liked old Norman.
Bought you some tea.
If you want to get rid of someone, you know what you do? Lend them some money. Lend them some money and you'll never, ever hear from them again.
Grandpa, what is it?
The bank is going to take my house away. My own stupid fault. I spent my money on all those damn windmills and things while the place fell down around my ears. That or gave it away.
Maybe Dad?
No.
But he'd like to.
He's got £400,000, has he? Place is completely buggered. It's riddled with dry rot. It's riddled with wet rot. And if it slips any further down the hill, it'll end up in Devon. That, and I owe the bank $225,000.
Will you have to sell it?
Sell it? This house is my life. There were not of strangers walking around it, installing trendy kitchen surfaces, filling it with interesting third-world objects. Good heavens, they'd probably put in a bidet.
What's that?
Entirely off the grid, he said. Don't pay the thieving bastards of crooked farm.
Just a few teething problems with the generator.
Grandpa.
Go to bed, eh? This house is going to stay in the family if it's the last thing I do. Well, go to bed. Got the bugger. Damn fox always creeps up at dawn. What?
Let's have a look then, shall we?
He was behind the rhododendrons. There was definitely a fox there. You didn't think I'd blown my brains out, did you?
No. You'd probably have missed.
So you really want to be a journalist, do you?
Yes.
Take a look at this. Not bad, eh?
did you get all this?
The thing about being Lord Chancellor is you're in cabinet and head of the legal system, so all the dirt crosses your desk. Now I'm going to sell my memoirs to the papers.
Grandpa, some of the stuff in here could bring down the government.
Good. After 42 years in politics, I despise the lot of them.
There's photos of the Prime Minister and... Is that a girl?
Singapore.
Did the papers never get hold of them?
Let's just say that a few knighthoods changed hands.
And what's all this about talking to Boadicea?
You mean the letter from Thatcher's psychiatrist?
God.
So, are you going to phone that loathsome rag of yours?
Well, I only just started. They wouldn't let me deal with a story this big.
Then you'd better ring Ollie, hadn't you?
Let me make it quite clear. If anyone else attempts to photograph or interview Mr. Gascoigne while he is on the hospital premises, they will be arrested.
What? Emma, love, not now. Another 3 feet and I've got an exclusive. Jesus, I'm on my way.
Ollie, where are you going?
Denny, all yours.
You touch this horse, it'll kick your bloody head in.
How is he?
He'll do another year.
We have here an encyclopedia of human weakness, from selling schoolgirls nuclear weapons to flashing the meat and 2 veg at Arab dictators.
I think you might have got that the wrong way round.
If it's some very odd foreign secretaries.
God, Mark Thatcher. You've actually got the invoices and the letter from the Colonel. Hang on, I've got...
You don't see any more till we have a contract.
Don't you trust me?
It's not that I don't trust you personally. I don't, of course. It's your paper I'm talking about.
But
if you don't believe it's real...
MI5 didn't only tape Charles and Camilla.
Holy shit. I never knew he had a tattoo.
I've also a soft spot for old Charlie. Been here, you know, gave me a watercolour of the house. God-awful old crap. Flogged her to some yank and bought a lawnmower. Still, let's be kind. Would you have wanted that? Well, I'm going for a walk. Anyone care to join me?
So, Arthur, who's going to be the Lord of Misrule this year?
My committee's decision will be reached this evening, as tradition decrees.
A convocation of village elders raise a village fool or eccentric to a position of absolute and untrammeled authority for 24 hours.
I tell you, it's about time we had a lady in Misrule.
I got one of them at home.
No, you haven't. She left you for that Portuguese chiropodist. That's why you spend all your time on this bloody carnival.
Listen, about this here dope. I reckon the best thing is we should sell it ourselves bit by bit. The important thing is no one apart from us 3 must know about it.
So, where's this bale of marijuana you boys found?
You can have the lot for 500,000.
500,000?
It's worth 10 times that, you know it.
Well, I'm not sure that we
When that seagull takes off, it goes up to 600,000.
500,000 it is.
In cash.
Cash?
I refer you to my previous statement about trust. When you hand me the cash, I'll hand you the folder.
Okay, I'll sort out my editor.
And give me the draft contract that you almost certainly brought with you.
If you need a lawyer.
I was the sodding Lord Chancellor for 9 years.
Yeah, I know. I know I said it was serial killer week, but some psychotic Pakistani, I mean, that's just scraping the bottom of the barrel, isn't it? I mean, well, why didn't you say he was a cannibal? Did he eat any white people? Gay Belgians. Yeah, write it up, Chris, yeah.
It's Ollie. He's got it.
Maestro, how much? £500,000 in cash. No, we can pay him in fricassee Belgians if that's what he wants. Oh, you wouldn't understand. Okay, I'll get back to you, all right? Yeah, bye. Looks like I better go and see our Miss Moneybags. Oh, and if Fergie's agent should ring back again, tell him to get stuffed.
Yeah, Nick in the Prime Minister's office, please. I've got some information.
Now, some people say we don't care about the NHS. But long before I was Prime Minister, my mother passed away in this ward of this NHS hospital. And I sat for days at her bedside, watching her receive all the care and attention and love that nurses like these could provide. So, am I going to let hospitals like this close? Am I heck?
Cut. Thank you, Prime Minister.
What? Susan?
So, I suppose he must be good in bed.
I beg your pardon.
Can't think of any other reason to fancy him.
Oh, but he's funny and exciting to be with and really believes in what he does. Yeah, it's mostly the sex.
So you're not going to marry him?
No.
Good, because I'm leaving you the house.
This house?
No, Buckingham Palace. What do you think? I'm leaving you the house on one condition, that when I'm dead and it's yours, you never let your father step foot inside it. You can say thank you now.
Even after you're dead?
I swore he wouldn't and he won't.
But I can't do that. He's my father.
I hope you're not going to be like all the others. I hope you're not going to let me down.
No, Grandpa.
So you're saying yes? Just say yes.
Thank you.
I knew we'd get there. So it's a deal.
Prime Minister, the Minister...
What's all this? I thought Bill Webster was dead.
Sadly, no.
Would you believe it? He rang me up last night asking for money.
And can we presume from the events of today that you replied in the negative?
What's the old bastard giving them? Thatcher and the Voices?
So it would seem.
And he knows all about Michael Howard and the stirrup pump?
That as well.
Any mention of Singapore?
Singapore?
Oh, you know, maybe around the time of my visit when I was at Defence, for example.
In what context?
In a general context.
Are you saying...
Did he bloody mention Singapore or not?
I'm not aware.
Yes. It can be very easy to mistake boys for girls out there.
Excuse me, Prime Minister, we're ready for you now. But we will be using a different elderly person this time.
God almighty. What we have to do to get elected. Now, we must have some dirt on him.
Well, he shagged his way through most of his secretaries. The problem is he seems rather proud of it.
We'd better put someone onto it, unless we all want to start clearing out our desks. At least, let's send someone down to see him. You know, play the "you're one of us" card.
But who?
Shirley, you and Bill have a thing. Saints of God, come to
This is Harrods here. I have an urgent message for Fortnum and Mason.
Care for a knock?
No.
Do you know the first director of MI5 had a wooden leg? Used to speed around the corridors on a child's scooter. In this age of technology, I believe it's very important to nurture our traditions of individuality.
And you certainly do, sir.
So is Harrods reliable?
Habitually. All this is very dangerous. Whoever gets hold of these memoirs could effectively blackmail the government.
You mean blackmail the government has just asked for a further 10% reduction in our manpower?
I'll get someone onto it.
You sure don't want to go? It's one of those glass-covered boats full of Jap tourists coming.
No.
Yes!
Great Uncle Donald.
Never liked him.
Auntie Nellie.
The half-wit.
Cousin Elizabeth.
That evil bitch. Great-grandmother Pilton, I win.
Why?
He does. She's definitely the ugliest. Your lead, Grandpa?
Smelly Uncle Howard.
Second cousin Edwin.
He's a she now. Lives in Hamburg.
Keeps what they cut off in a jar.
Great Uncle Whitstable at Hendon.
Tosser.
Mad Auntie Celia.
I've got to win. Mine's easily the ugliest. Oi.
Mad relatives are trumps. Hello? I'll see if I can find him. It's the Prime Minister's office.
Tell them I'm off buggering rent boys in Penzance.
He's off buggering rent boys in Penzance. Yes, I'll tell him.
Let me guess. They've sent someone down to see me.
By helicopter.
We've got a deal. You can't see them.
We'll pretend we're out. Who is it anyway?
A minister. Shirley Adams.
Shirley, eh?
So we'll pretend we're not in?
Probably. Your turn.
Uncle Bart.
And his equally vile consort, Christina.
Second cousin Willie.
Peter, someone or other at Ilfracombe. Look at those ears. I've got to win this time.
He's not supposed to be in there.
Who is he?
My dad's stupid.
Did you put him in there deliberately?
No, of course not, Grandpa. This is really silly, you know.
So don't you two get on?
It happened ages ago. If you won't see him, then why don't you just give him a ring?
You know, that man has pursued being average with such single-minded fervour, it almost makes him exceptional.
Grandpa.
My son, a solicitor, a second-rate small-town nobody.
He is not a nobody. Why don't you just...
Walk!
So, do I win?
Good afternoon. We're from the Western Daily Press, and we're doing a piece on the state of the local fishing industry.
It's buggered.
Yes, we were hoping to do something in a little more depth.
What was all that about back there? It was like a bridge evening with the Borgias.
Grandpa's managed to quarrel with just about everyone in this family. His daughter went first and furthest. She now lives in Australia with the man Grandpa forbade her to marry on the grounds that he dug wax out of his ears with his car keys. Then it was Gran. She left Grandpa one Christmas. Unlike the others, she came back, though she was never very well after that, and she died about 4 years later. Dad came to her funeral, and that's when the really terrible quarrel happened. Neither of them ever said what it was about. But Grandpa swore Dad would never set foot in the house again.
And you still like him?
More almost than anyone. How is that? Ollie, he's leaving me the house. On condition I never let Dad inside it.
Great.
And I can't do that.
So go along with him. Tell him you will, then don't.
I have.
Good. He'll be dead when you change your mind.
Wouldn't do your exclusive much good either.
Yeah, that's another reason not to tell him.
So, if you had to choose between me and this story, which would you take?
Do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, I do. I bet at your age Grandpa was just like you.
Is that why you fancy me?
No, I fancy you because...
Out, Jeff. You're banned.
How they selling?
Don't you go having too many now, Dad.
These look nice.
Not sure you like them, Derek.
No, they're exceedingly tasty. How much do I owe you?
£2.
What do you want?
Amy said she'll give me half a log if I tell you.
Tell us what?
Sorry, but it's a jungle out there. Amy reckons there's 2 customs men on their way, disguised as reporters. Hey!
It's a jungle in here too. Now press off. They're onto us.
Evening.
Evening. You know the house rules, Bill. All shotguns have to be left behind the bar.
Usually neat one to get bloody well served in here.
We're
Reporters.
doing a piece on the local fishing industry.
It's buggered.
So we've been led to believe. But we'd like to talk to some local fishermen.
No fishermen in tonight. They're away at a conference. A fishing conference. Probably no point you waiting.
2 white wines. Excuse me?
They're at a fishing conference.
I'm looking for Lord Webster's house.
You got Shirley outside. Tell her she wants to speak to Lord Webster to get rid of you lackeys and come in for a drink.
Evening, Bill.
What are you drinking?
Vodka and tonic. What are you drinking, Bill? Methylated spirits? Something seems to be rotting your brain.
Aren't you supposed to be flattering me?
We need to talk, Bill. Can we go to your place?
That brings back memories.
Strange, this house. So many great memories and so many grim ones.
You don't want to let memories get in your way. Well, you don't. That's why it must be shit to be as old as your grandpa. All those memories. It's now that counts.
You've been reading that newspaper of yours again, haven't you?
Admit it! No! Admit it! No! Admit it! Admit that Leslie Judd was a better Blue Peter presenter than Valerie Singleton!
Oi, you two!
Come on, out, boys, out! Out together, go on, go on, get him! Out!
I'll have a large vodka and tonic and an absolutely huge whiskey.
And I'll have an incredibly, hugely, ginormously massive pint of bitter, please.
We lost my leg in the blitz, you know.
Really?
Got pissed. Left it in a pub in Fulham.
Bill, do we have to stay with this freak show?
Freak show? This is one of the few genuine pagan rites to survive in the country. Tonight we choose a Lord of Misrule. Supposed to be the biggest idiot in the village.
Must be a hell of a contest.
Very similar to our leadership elections. God, do you remember during the Thatcher Heath contest, when we were in bed back at your place with a magnum of champagne, going at it hammer and tongs, when who should ring but dear O'Brien Redhead to do your radio interview? You did very well, considering.
Probably the only in flagrante radio interview in the history of politics.
Yes. Actually, no. I did one during the Callahan vote of confidence. I came like the clappers just as I was saying the words Margaret Thatcher. Wrecked my sex life for years.
And we are going to read all about it in the tabloids, are we?
Oh, no. Saving the really scandalous stuff for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, as appointed in the village statutes, it is now time for the Carnival Committee to convene.
What is it about the old bastard? He's cruel, he's manipulative, he's self-obsessed. And I've always loved him more than Dad. But that's not fair. And what does that make me? What do I do, Ethel? Do I tell him I can't take the house? Okay, the way he taught me. Let's examine the case. On one hand, I don't say anything. I get the house, he has someone to leave it to, so he'll go ahead and sell the papers, and Ollie gets our story. And after he's dead, I'll let Dad back in the house, and I'll have betrayed him, and I'll feel like shit. Okay, on the other hand, I do tell him I can't take it. He'll scream at me, tell me I've let him down like all the others, probably never talk to me again. I won't get the house, Ollie won't get his story, we'll probably split up, Dad won't have a house to visit anyway, and I'll feel like shit. So, decision time. No, let's do it your way. So, shall I tell him? Still works. Get someone else to make your mind up for you and you know at once if you're right or wrong.
Don't know why. Feeling terribly peckish.
You can't do this. You can't just destroy what you spent 50 years fighting for.
Oh, that's true, but then again, you have to bear in mind, I don't give a toss.
Still angry you got given the boot.
I resigned.
You were made to resign.
Because I wasn't bland and grey and mediocre enough to be a modern politician. Oh, yes, you start out believing in something or other, but the intrigue, all that backstabbing, just so much more interesting, more fun. And in the end, that's all there is. 42 years in a jam jar full of maggots struggling to be the one nearest the lid.
No, Bill.
You're not from round here, are you?
No, my parents weren't related until they got married. And good luck in the competition.
Oh.
For someone who's finally found happiness, Bill, you're not very happy.
Stop pretending to be interested in me. You're only here to twist my arm so I don't sell the story, aren't you?
No, Bill.
Aren't you?
Yes, of course I bloody well am.
Very well, I won't.
You won't?
No, provided you get me the £500,000 before the Daily Comet do.
Bill?
In cash.
You're serious, aren't you? You're serious.
Hiya. Oh, hello, Shirley.
Shirley Adams, Ethel Slightholme, Oliver Mills.
We've met. I set my Doberman on him when I caught him going through my dustbins. They're very quick, aren't they?
So, down here incognito, are we? It's a good job no one round here knows you're Shirley Adams, the Minister for Agriculture, Food and Fisheries. I expect the local fishermen would want to make their views known to you if they knew you were responsible for the government policy on fishing.
No fishermen in tonight?
No. They're at a conference. A fishing conference.
I've just been telling Shirley if she gets the cash to me first, she can have the story.
That's not fair.
I expect you've both got telephone calls to make.
Grandpa,
You know the trouble about being old. Nearly everyone in your dreams is dead.
Admit it! Admit it!
How far have you got on the cannibal story? Bent, gent, gents are wacky packy snackies. I don't like snackies. It's a pity they weren't Germans. No, I haven't got a rhyme. It's just a pity they weren't Germans. Oh, I know. How about curried sprouts? Oh, hang on. Yes. He's done what?
Now, some people say we don't care about the NHS. But my mother passed away in this ward of this NHS hospital. And I sat for days at her bedside, watching her receive all the care and attention and love.
What bollocks!
Oh! It's the next take. And I don't want that one appearing on It'll Be All Right on the Night.
It's Shirley.
Yes? How much? Don't be ridiculous.
Mention Singapore to him.
Well, we'll just have to get there first then, won't we? Yeah, I'll organise a plane. Now, where should we meet? Uh-huh.
We're going to need some money fast. Someone will have to tell Geoffrey Archer we're going to make him party chairman again.
It's time.
I hereby declare that for 24 hours, English law is suspended and Carnival law is instituted. Under the supreme guidance of the Lord of Misrule, Ethel Slato. Your Mightiness, command us as you will.
I'll have a large brandy.
Is that all? You're the Lord of Misrule.
Well, in that case, I don't want no lipstick around the glass and something else.
OK, we'll rendezvous at your landing point.
So where have they got to?
And Shirley's lot are just round the corner.
Didn't know I was so popular. Perhaps we could give them a float in tomorrow's procession.
Grandpa, I need to talk to you about the house.
Do you remember the procession when I was given the order of the garter? You must have been about 8 at the time. You were wearing that red dress with the red hat.
Yes.
Though I still had the nicer frock, I think. And I was with old Healy, and you ducked under the barrier and ran over to me.
I know.
And I had that rag doll of yours all through the ceremony. You gave it to me, remember?
Yes, because I couldn't give you a Christmas present because you and Dad had quarrelled again. So I made Dad take me to the ceremony because that was the only way I could see you.
Nonsense. It wasn't like that at all. You were too young to remember. Now, I wonder how the reign of Ethel the Unsteady is progressing.
We need to talk about the house.
You remind me of your grandmother. That stubbornness. And I don't want to lose you like I did her.
You don't have to. But the house, what you said about Dad. What is it?
You haven't noticed, have you?
What?
I'm dying, of course.
Not again.
What do you mean?
This is the 3rd time you've died. As soon as you want something, you catch some fatal disease, and as soon as you get it, you recover. Oh, God, you are.
Cancer, pancreatic, 100% fatal.
I'm sorry.
3 to 6 months, then death, rapidly followed by decomposition and loads of two-faced obituaries. Don't tell any of my relatives till I'm dead. And loads of flowers at my funeral because the new Lord Chancellor will have to come and he has terrible hay fever. Now, what have I left out?
I'm so sorry, Grandpa.
Emma, I've regretted so much. My life was a race. Outrunning, outdistancing, beating the others. And I won. I got further than any other bugger. And when I stopped and looked back, I realized I'd started out in completely the wrong direction. Typical. You don't realize what a complete bollocks you've made of everything till it's too late to do anything about it. Oh, I forgot. I built myself a coffin. It's in the garden shed.
What's in there?
Morphine. Do you want some?
£8, 7 ounces.
What are you doing?
We're weighing our heads.
Why?
Because
we wanted to see how much they weighed.
Have you seen Tim?
Tim.
Tim. Dr. Clark.
You're 16, you're beautiful, and you're mine.
I think you found your vacation, Ethel. The egg and spoon race with a live lobster in their underpants was a particularly fine touch.
Oh my God, they've ransacked the place. Have they found it?
The great thing about having a house that's falling down is there are lots of places to hide things.
A bit impatient, were we?
Us? It was nothing to do with us.
Well, it certainly...
Oh, shut up, you.
Who are you to tell us to shut up?
I am the Lord of Misrule, and I've got a lot of misruling to do tomorrow, so I'm going to bed.
Did you have a good time?
Best night of my life.
What?
It's Grandpa. He's dying.
I'm sorry.
Sorry? Why sorry? It's great. You get a new angle on your story and I get the house quicker. It's terrific.
Emma?
He might even die tomorrow. That way you wouldn't even have to pay him. It's really, really good.
Hey, stop it.
Oh, I see. You're consoling me because you don't want me getting upset and wrecking things by telling Grandpa I can't take the house.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
You're not, are you? Oh,
You won't tell him that, will you?
You've got a nerve.
Seeing you brought back old memories.
I think I can imagine which ones.
I've been thinking back a lot recently.
Not surprising, given that you're dying. Oh, come on. In the past 12 hours, we've been going through your life with a tooth comb.
So you must know why we never tried making a go of it.
Because you were unsuitable, unreliable, unfaithful, and married.
Ah, that's right. Still, you and me, one of the few things I don't regret.
Bill, this isn't a good idea. Not at the moment. But for what it's worth, I think back about us a lot too, and I'm not even dying. Bill? Leave the champagne, eh?
Ollie? Ollie?
I was getting some milk.
No point. I've moved them.
Bill, I know what you're thinking.
Oh, I understand. Purely business. By the way, have I mentioned my conditions about the money, that the Prime Minister has to come down here and give it to me personally?
You can't be serious. You won't do it.
Mention Singapore, and I think you'll find he'd do the egg and spoon race with a lobster in his jockey shorts.
Sorry, Bill, this is your fault. A member of Her Majesty's Cabinet, a woman who's been on desert island discs, reduced to creeping round kitchens and treading on small spiny mammals.
Sit down, I'll pull the spines out.
So where were you back then?
In the bathroom.
No, you weren't. I looked. So what happened to the honest bastard all of a sudden? You're just smarter than her, aren't you? You realised he'd have moved.
"6 hours. That should have taken the spring out of his step. We could also remove unsightly hair in the bikini area.
You can't do this. I'd report you to customs.
Customs. He thinks we're the law. In your dreams. You see, you've stolen something that belongs to us.
It's in the pub. In the grandfather clock.
You just have to go and spoil his day, don't you?
Probably an heart attack after all that excitement. Or all that brandy. There'll have to be a post-mortem, I'm afraid. This is a human thigh bone.
Her husband brought it home from World War I as a souvenir.
Romantic.
Bill, I'm so sorry about Ethel.
So am I.
No, please. Don't feel you have to waste your hypocrisy on me. If you've got your work to do, I'm sure you're needed for that.
How about a cup of coffee downstairs?
Just think. She was probably the last person called Ethel left alive in the world.
Well, they turned the place inside out, but they didn't find anything.
They look in the bread bin.
I don't know.
Oh, well. Let's have to kill the old bugger then.
I'm sorry to come to you at a time like this, but can I ask you one last favour? I have to know if I've made the right decision. So, whichever side lands facing up. Oh, Ethel, it doesn't work anymore. How about sending me a sign? Is that a cup of tea for me?
Well, it's not for her, is it?
Mr. Hell?
Yes?
We've reason to believe this vehicle is stolen. I'd like you to accompany us to the police station.
What? It's her, isn't it?
Now, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the difficult way.
Let's do it the difficult way.
Well, go after him, then.
You go after him, ma'am.
Brilliant. Bloody brilliant. How am I supposed to maintain ritualistic pre-Christian tradition all on my own? Where are they?
Well, young Mr. T's a lord of Misrule. Rory's having his stomach pumped out. Pete suffering from delayed shark after the lobster incident. And after all that dope, Derek thinks he's Genghis Khan's bank manager.
And Tim?
Them blokes from customs dragged him off.
They've arrested him. They must know.
We best get rid of it. I'll do it. You round up some reserves for the horse.
Right.
£50 for the bike.
100.
I'll tell you what, let's say nothing.
Hey!
Edge. Dropping like flies, aren't we?
I'll stay down till Ethel's funeral. Help out with the arrangements.
We have to bury her in the garden, under the willow tree. And down by the rhubarb. And round the back by the compost heap.
In 3 places.
She didn't specify which part where. Left that to our imagination.
Is this serious?
It's what she wanted. After she had that little heart tremor last January, she made me promise.
But by then wasn't she a bit...
Doolally, absolutely.
Perhaps we shouldn't spread her all over the garden.
I promised.
And a promise to someone who's dying you have to keep.
Lord Webster?
That depends.
David de Glanville. I'm an estate agent.
In that case, no.
The bank has asked me to do a valuation.
Not now.
Perhaps if I could just have a quick look around.
There's a dead woman in one of the bedrooms.
Oh, well, I'll just count her as fixture and fitting.
Bugger off now or I'll set the dog on you.
What's it going to do? Suck me to death? I'll call back when it's more convenient.
Yes, let's see. How about when hell freezes over?
May I offer you my
Yes, we'll take that as read. The body's upstairs.
That's what I've come to say. I'll have to pick it up this afternoon. They made me the new Lord of Misrule.
Father?
Dad.
What are you doing here?
How are you, Dad? I came to pay my respects to Ethel.
Who told you?
I rang him.
She virtually brought me up. I'd like to see her, if I may.
All right. Help me carry the body out of the house.
What?
We can put her in the conservatory. I swore he'd never set foot in my house again, and I meant it.
For God's sake, Grandpa.
Very well, you can have 15 minutes.
Thank you. It's very...
Starting now. Thought I could trust you.
bloody yokels. I am the bloody Prime Minister.
Famous, this carnival. A lot of it's modern, but you do get a sense of something almost pagan.
Well, perhaps we should get out and join in. Perhaps we should attach bells to our extremities and run around the streets banging sticks together. We've lost the escort now.
Surely the less attention we draw to ourselves, the better.
Why? I am the bloody Prime Minister. God, it must be nice being President of Libya or Indonesia or somewhere. Something like this happens and you just send around some large men with Kalashnikovs and it's all sorted out. Nice beaches, too.
Excellent. That smells
The ceiling needs attention.
Dad.
You manage to like him, don't you? How do you do that? How are you, Father?
I'm fine. Good.
Look, I'm sorry for some of the things I've said.
What things? Like dying was the only way she could escape from you? Are you sorry for that?
What?
When your grandmother was ill.
What about it was probably the stress that gave her the cancer?
Dad.
Or you bullied her into staying because you couldn't face the shame of a divorce. You killed her for the sake of your political career. Are you sorry for those?
I've said I apologize.
You've said so.
I'm sorry. Okay?
Grandpa? What do you say?
Your 15 minutes is up.
Well. Goodbye then, Dad.
He knows, doesn't he? I could see the pity in his eyes. You told him I was dying.
He had the right to know.
Listen to little Miss Journalist.
For God's sake, call him back.
To think I trusted you. Good God, I've given you my house.
Yes. That's something else.
It's too late, you swore it.
If Dad can't set foot inside it, I can't accept it.
Too late, too late.
Are you right?
You'll keep your promise, won't you?
I can't.
In that case, I'm glad I'm dying if you're siding with that boring pen pusher from Penge. The forces of greyness have triumphed. Let mediocrity reign.
Yes, well, perhaps he is boring. So boring and decent, he earns an honest living. and does people little kindnesses and makes the world go round in small ways and doesn't screw every woman in town behind his wife's back, and still has a family he can talk to.
At least I've never betrayed a dying man.
You manipulative old bastard. You hate Dad because he's ordinary. Well, let me tell you something. You're ordinary. There's nothing exceptional about being a bully. There's nothing exceptional about being a coward. You're an ordinary old failure. An ordinary old man.
Get out of my house.
Grandpa!
Take it off! Why couldn't you just have lied to me like anyone else would? I hope your grandchildren treat you like this when you're dying of cancer.
Now my government's going to fall because of a lot of yokels gathered for the annual sheep-shagging festival. I bet this has never happened to Saddam. Keep down, woman. I don't suppose they like fishing ministers down here.
They found out yesterday they didn't seem to mind.
Bloody amateurs. We collided with the Gorham Avon girl pipers. What are you doing here?
I'm whacked.
You're supposed to be causing chaos in an anarchic yet amusing fashion. You can't be whacked.
Listen, I'm the Lord of bloody Misrule. I can be what I bloody want.
All right. Tim. Oh. Morning.
Oi, I'm the Lord of Misrule, and why don't you join us for a drink?
Where is it? Where's what? Try the other one. All right, all right. We'll tell you. Well?
But Colonel Gaddafi never had fish poured over his car.
Call the police, please.
No, don't! What's the use of a lot of pufters with blue tea cozies for hats armed with little sticks? No! This we have to sort out ourselves. Now listen! I am not in the... Give me this! Give me that knife!
It's true. What's the yokel? Come on, let's go! Goodness sake! Get a knife! Get a knife!
Look, you colic idiot! Give me back that knife! That's my bloody
customs. So we burnt it.
Of course you did. Your lucky day after all, Al. You see, either we bring back the gear, or we bring back the $500,000. Or we bring back an assortment of appendages belonging to the people who took it. Sit down.
Oh, my God. I'm the Prime Minister of Great Britain.
Meet the Lord of Misrule. I'm the Sultan of Swing, and this is the King of Comedy.
Now listen.
Hang on. Open that case.
Absolutely not.
Well, well, well. That looks about right. Burnt it, eh? Sorry, Al. Definitely not your day.
Look at me. Look at me closely. I really am the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Take that money and the consequences will be incalculable.
You really are the Prime Minister.
I am.
Then you ought to do something about those poor lambs being exported for slaughter. It's a disgrace.
Insurance job, is it?
Bugger off! You estate agents, you're only muggers without the guns.
Seems to me we should start to treat this as a big operation now.
Do you know Saddam shot one of his ministers in a cabinet meeting? Inspector, I wonder what they put in the minutes.
Prime Minister?
You've got a gun, haven't you? Show me. You know, I've forgotten what fun it is to have one of my turns.
Excuse me. Could you help me a moment? You know me, don't you? I'm your grandfather's bank manager.
Yes.
Good. Just trying to work out what's real and what's not. Now, I did come round to your grandfather's on Friday to tell him the bad news about the house.
Yes.
Excellent. Now we're getting somewhere.
Then you sensitively sent an estate agent round to value the place.
Estate agent?
De Glanville.
De Glanville? No. Never heard of him. Just when everything was becoming so clear.
I am the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Give me that bicycle!
That was the Prime Minister, wasn't it?
Let me guess. MI5. Well, at least you're a murderer and not an estate agent. You're going to kill me, I presume.
All in good time. First, tell me where the papers are.
As I don't give a fart whether the press or the government or your lot get hold of them, I might as well, but for some reason I'm not going to.
Drop the gun. Drop it.
I don't think you're going to use that.
Yeah, run!
Oh.
You get him? Good girl.
Thanks.
He's not quite unconscious.
What are you doing?
Drink some water. Okay? Now do you know who I am? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Good. Bastard. At least the Glanville, whatever his name is, will get a bit of a shock when he wakes up. Well, there was no point in saving my life.
No.
Still, no harm done?
I'm sorry about what I said.
Yes. You should have known better than to tell the truth. And so should your father.
Peter.
Peter. It's true. I did put my career before your grandma. Why did I do that? She deserved better. Have I told you that you remind me of her? My memory is going just as well I'm on the way out. So, you and me, are we, You can have the house, no strings attached.
I'll need some time to think about that.
All right. Is that the Prime Minister?
That's my bloody case!
God.
It's all right. A fiver and the Prime Minister.
I'll take Ollie. Hang on, what's this?
Is that a drink?
Surely.
Aren't you,
I'll kiss babies for my party. I'll admire pigs. I'll even be nice to Michael Portillo. But I draw the line at mud wrestling. You betting? I'll have the PM.
You are the local paper, yeah? So just send a photographer. I have got the Prime Minister of Great Britain in a duck pond fighting for £500,000. So
Give me that case!
No, I've not been eating any special brownies.
Here, Arthur, give us a hand. We got to pick up the coffin from Lord Webster's place.
Go on, Derek. Give your dad a hand. I can do this.
All right. Nice dragon.
Dragon?
What dragon?
Right, Arthur.
All right.
No!
No.
Sorry I'm a bit late. Think you'll find everything's in order?
Just this once, I'll trust you.
You coming?
No. Looks like you're going to have to make that choice between me and the story. Thank you for pretending it's difficult. Now go on.
Take the cliff path, you'll be fine.
I'll sort the police out. There won't be a problem. They want to keep quiet about this. What's that?
My telephone number.
It worked in 1976.
Here, Derek.
Doesn't seem to be anyone around.
It's okay, the coffin's in here.
Never did like that machine. The R was always sticking.
Grandpa, I don't know what's going on, but you better think about what's going to happen when the paper prints this story.
It'll be sued for tens of millions of pounds, I expect.
Sued? Why?
Because all the stuff I gave Ollie, I made up. Oh, and I've got something for you.
What's that?
That's the real dirt. Thought it might come in handy one day. Pay the running expenses, should you decide to keep the house.
You know I will.
Good.
And I can invite any member of my family.
Absolutely. Except that evil bitch Christina.
Wouldn't let her near the place.
Nor Aunt Nellie.
What about smelly Uncle Howard?
Hello? 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 Is there anybody there? Hello? Can anybody hear me? I'm alive in here. Hello? Hello?
Hamilton and Day.
Peter.
Dad.
So, still a solicitor, you sad, boring bastard?